Okay, so I just want to tell everybody I have not left Magic Developed. We've been working on a little project which is sitting behind me. Yeah, that was fun. That was exciting. Part of me didn't want to go back in the car, but it was, yeah, went in and we had an hour and a half to basically catch him. We knew they had an engine going failing and had to make up, what was it, about three and a half laps
Yeah.
over the last hour and a half. So it was really a lot of fun. We did head run basically what felt like qualifying laps on what turned out to be corded tires, broken sway bar mount, all kinds of stuff. And basically we knew we had a lap time we had to hit, and we went out there and we were able to hit it. So it was pretty cool to bring it home and see everybody get really excited, and to finish this last 25 again, back up our championship 1-2 finish. You couldn't ask for a better outcome.
Oh, we were way close. I mean,
They neglected to tell me that.
yeah, we left Tony out of everything. We told him to drive. Basically, with about 45 minutes to go, we thought we had it figured out, and we thought we could easily make the pass and really start to back up the fuel numbers to make the end of the race. Palomar then got the bright idea to take their second car and push the first car, and they found 7 seconds a lap doing that, and that threw all of our math out the window, and we had to recalc real quick, keep Tony head down. And I think we ended up finishing with only about 1.5 gallons in the car. Tires were completely corded off the thing. I mean, it was, we were biting fingernails to make that. We were either going to make that pass or we were going to run out of fuel and have the car come to a grinding halt with 10 minutes to go. Those were the only two options.
So what are my plans for racing this year? Yeah, so the reason that you haven't seen me out earlier is that we've been working on a project with my car specifically. And Justin will get into that later, more of the specifics around it. But basically, the M54 platform went away and a new later model BMW drivetrain went in, and that's taken a little bit of time. So now we're out here for this first weekend doing testing on it, and so far it's coming along really well. But it's specific to what I'm going to be racing in. We're actually using this weekend as a test session running with USTCC. I'm going to run a number of events with them. We have Grid Life in the fall. We're just going to have some fun. I might drop back into STTT. We'll just see how the season goes and what comes up. Yeah, the new livery, green and black. So Bay City Electric Works, the Kohler power distributor for California, Nevada, and Hawaii, is the primary sponsor on the car, and they've been very generous with their sponsorship of the car, and we're proud to have them on board. We also have other sponsors you can see that are mandatory to run with USTCC, but the three others I want to mention. Bimmer World has always been a great supporter of me and Justin on the parts side. Apex Wheels has been one of our longtime sponsors. You can see we have Apex wheels on the car, their latest forge set. They look beautiful. And then Micro PDM. We have actually 2 Micro PDMs in the car that have proven themselves over 225 hours and been great. So yeah, you want to talk about the drivetrain itself?
Yeah, so basically what we ended up doing, we had some hurdles with the M54s. We looked at running some of these other classes that Tony had talked about, and we thought realistically and reliably getting the M54 there was going to be very difficult. So we started looking into other solutions that were possible, things that would be relatively easy to put into the car, but also get the performance that we wanted out of them. So we did a lot of research and digging and ended up taking the N52 power plant out of the basically like an 08 and up 3 Series BMW and transplanted it completely into this car. We're still kept the same ECU we've been running for the last couple of years. We really like the Max ECU. We're not going to get rid of that. But we did our own magic touches to the N52 power plant to hopefully see the same success that we see out of the M54 and bring that reliability around. You know, the N52 gets a pretty bad rap from the general public about being an unreliable motor and those kind of small items. And in the general testing we've seen so far, we have not had any issues. I think as you the program that we've done with the motors has made it a much more simplified process, and there's less things to break. Yeah, so prepping the N52 for the E46 platform, there was a lot of cross-referencing for some part numbers to make the installation go much smoother. There's also individual hurdles with some small items like the Valvetronics, some of the injector things, ignition coils. There are definitely some things we figured out with our package that made the installation a lot easier, and has also made the motor a lot more reliable and taken out a lot of the issues that N52s are kind of known for. We were able to eliminate a decent amount of them, and so far we've rolled off the trailer. We've went to the dyno, rolled off the trailer. We're here racing this weekend and have had next to no issues with the drivetrain, with an increased performance window from where we were with the M54. So in prepping for the new race series, we really have to go over the rules and see what they do allow and what they don't allow. And one of the big ones here is we're actually switched over, for USTCC, the big one is we switched over to a hand-cooked slick, the F200 non-DOT tire. And this will be the first time that one of the E46 platforms, for us, have not been on a true DOT. So there is some setup work and understanding in how a slick works as opposed to a DOTR. Beyond that, the rules are kind of within. We're a little bit tame for USTCC right now, within reason. There are still some upgrades we could to maximize the rules. But Tony and I decided for this year, with the revolving series that we're going to run in, we'll take it easy in some of the series and maximize some of the other ones and kind of play it by ear on where we want to go and what we want to maximize performance level in.
Yeah, because it was kind of a triple play. One, the engine RPM band is much different. There's more gears in the transmission. It's a 6-speed versus a 5. The tires are different, a little bit shorter diameter. So all of that put together, it's just relearning the track. The engine is really cool. It revs and it's kind of funny. You feel like you're driving an M54 and you want to shift because audibly it sounds like where you should shift, but you really got to watch the lights because you have another 1,000 RPM to go. And learning the different shift points on track. The tires are great when they're new. You get a few heat cycles in them and they get pretty squirrely, but we're learning, that's the learning curve as far as driving the car being different. But when the tires are new, it's fast. It's really fast.
The other hard part is we're on the bleeding edge. There's not another one of these engines anywhere in this paddock right now. We're the first to really start going down this route, especially out here on the West Coast. So when we're tuning things and we're seeing things, there's not a lot of people you can bounce questions off of, even with other tuners or other people in your ECU community, for instance. There's not a lot of things to bounce off of because people are not looking at this motor yet and or have not developed it yet. And so we have to carry a certain amount of spares we know we aren't going to find anywhere in this paddock. We probably aren't going to find anywhere around the track. Or even in town. This is just things we have to think ahead about. Beyond that, it's been kind of cool to see people's faces and see what everybody's been. We've been teasing it for a couple weeks on our social media, and everybody come over to see the excitement about something that's completely different in the paddock. It's not the normal S54, M54. It's not in the normal range of swaps. So it's been pretty fun. So glad you can kind of see the updates we've done with Tony Domenichi's cars. I know there's a couple mentions of Tony leaving the organization, which we all found kind of funny because I don't think we mentioned that anywhere. No. But yeah, just something completely different we're doing. Glad you could see it. We're going to keep working on this, developing it, trying to make it a pretty competitive package. Also keep working on this drivetrain swap, and you may end up seeing this drivetrain in a couple other cars here in the future. This is something we're working on. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys in the next video.